Hello Craft team, welcome back to my channel Ibisfynkrafties. In this video, we shall be making a bandless front gathered turban. If you're new here, you're highly welcome. Let's get crafting. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for coming back. For this project, we'll be needing some items to work with. We'll be needing our scissors. We'll need a stretchy fabric. Any stretchy fabric will do. We'll need our tape. We'll need our machine thread. And we'll be needing a tailor's chalk. So let's get crafting. So any stretchy fabric will do to work with. You need you can use poly, scuba, any fabric but a stretchy fabric. So we'll need a circle for this pattern of turban we'll be making today. So I'll just quickly show you how I cut out my fabric to get my perfect circle. So I'll be illustrating using a A4 paper. Keep in mind A4 paper is not a complete square, because what we'll be using for our fabric will cut out 30 by 30 inches. That is 30 inches length, 30 inches width, which will give us a perfect square. So I'll just use A4 to illustrate. Well, keep in mind A4 is not a perfect square, so we cannot get the same exact measurement for on the A4, but it's just an illustration. You fold in half your fabric in half, then you fold again to get a closed end. Then you get a closed end, then you have the open end that is like you have 4 pieces. So we'll start our measurement from the closed end. So you measure from the closed your tape. The beginning of your tape should be at the tip of the closed end. Now whatever measurements you get from your closed end to the other end of your fabric, you mark it. You mark that point. Now for the 30 inches we are doing, we are working with, when you fold it, you'll be getting like 15 inches. So you mark it. So that is what you measure from your closed end. You measure around your fabric, the folded fabric. Now you measure take the same measurement. So if you get 15 at your first measurement, when you take it to the second point, you still mark your 15. You take it to the third point, you mark your 15. Take it to the end of the fabric, you mark your 15. So that is what you do to get your perfect circle. So you just ensure that it's the same measurement you started with. You keep taking and you mark at that same point, because if you don't do so, you'll not get a perfect circle. But when you get to mark the same point, you get a perfect circle when you cut and open your fabric. So you can use your tailor chalk to trace all your markings to aid your cutting, or if you're good at cutting, you just go ahead and cut your markings with your scissors. So because A4 is not a perfect square, you will not get a perfect circle, but for your fabric, you get a perfect circle when you take your measurements correctly. So that's how I got my circle. Now, if you want your turban to be thick, you cut out your circle in duplicate. That's, you have 2 circles cut out. But what if you don't have enough fabric and you have to make your turban? So this video will also show you how I used one fabric to make the same turban. So you can go ahead to cut out 2 to make your turban thicker, but you can also use one fabric, and that is what I'll be doing in this video. And at the end of the video, you'll see how you can design this turban and glam up your finished work. So I'll just fold my fabric into two. I'll just fold my fabric into two. But if you're using double fabric, you don't have to fold it into two. You just place both fabric together, sew it, then before you turn it out to the good side, then fold it this before you get to this stage that we are folding. But since my fabric is one, I'll just get to this stage where I'll fold my fabric into two, then fold the edge in. See the way I'm folding my edge in? I'll just fold like half an inch. It's not even a quarter inch fold in. You just fold in a little all through. You can use your pins to hold it down. Fold it a little all through. Then I'll use my sewing machine to sew it. Or if you don't want to fold it that way and sew, you can also use a ribbon. Close the edge the way it's folded. Use a ribbon to pipe it and sew it. Whichever you prefer, you go ahead with it. So I folded mine inwards and sewed with my sewing machine. So now I'm done sewing. I want to form my gathers. So I'll just go ahead to form my gathers from that one end to the other end. From this end, I'll form my gathers all through to the other end of my fabric. So let's go ahead and form the gathers. So first I'll just make a knot to secure my thread, and for this part you can actually double your thread so it won't snap on you. So I'll just go ahead to secure my first my thread. I'll just secure it in place before I'll start my gathers. If you've watched up to this point and you've not joined the Kraft team, what are you waiting for? Click on that subscribe button now and join the Kraft team for more headwear tutorials, fashion accessory DIYs, millinery tips, and lots more. Join the Kraft team. You can also connect with us on Facebook and Instagram at Ibisfynkrafties. You can also share this video, leave us a comment in the comment sections. Let's know what you think about the video, our channel. Let's just connect with us. So I'm still forming my gathers. I'm done with my gathers. I'm done forming my gathers. So now I'll just go ahead and bring both edges together and stitch it. I'll just bring both edges together and stitch to close. So when you bring both edges together, you stitch to keep in place. Then already you see the turban is already forming. You are forming out front. Turban is forming and it's looking fine already. So I'll just stitch it in place. Then I'll go ahead to close the opening. I'll go ahead to close the opening. So at the end of the video, you'll see how I designed a turban I made this way. You see how I made a turban, designed a turban I made this way at the end of this video. So the turban is quick and easy to make. How you accessorize it, how you add other things to it, glams your turban up. So remember, if you double your fabric, when it comes to this point, your gathers will be fuller, so you need to take more time to stitch them in place. So you need to take time to stitch them in place if you doubled your fabric. But if you use poly or scuba that is already thick, you can actually still use one and it will come out thick. So I'll just go ahead to close this opening. How I'll go about it is I'll pass my needle from one side. I'll pass my needle from one side, then take it to the other edge. Take it to the other edge, then pull it together to close it. Once I pass my needle to the other edge, I pull it together and close it. So that's how I'll continue to do till I am done closing the opening. So at this point, you just need to take your time to close your opening so you won't have any opening when you're done with your turban. So I'm done stitching and closing. So my turban is ready. And turban is ready. So this is how it looks like when you're done stitching and closing. So you just have to turn it over. That stitched part will now be inside of your turban. So the turban is already looking fine. I just love the simplicity of this turban. It's just looking fine. So if you're yet to join the crafting, click on the subscribe button now to join the crafting. So look at the design I did with a turban I made this way. Look how stunning it is. Looking all glammed up. So if you enjoyed this video, like it and give us a thumbs up. So we'll meet in our next video. Take care of you, be creative, and bye.